take an accurate count of all of our unhoused neighbors in the city of Riverside here today, and then countywide, right?
Dozens and dozens of people and teams go to every corner of the city to meet with and interview the homeless individuals on our streets, find their backstories, how old are they, where they come from, how is it you became homeless. All that data will help us as we craft a program to try to solve this crisis of unhoused people.
We are trying to connect with residents that are less fortunate than us, that are getting the brunt of the affordable crisis and who are facing almost unlivable consequences of this lack of housing that we have in our county.
We need to understand why individuals are homeless before we can come up with a solution. Is it mental illness? Is it substance abuse? Is it some disability that prevents them from working? There are a number of reasons. It's not one size fits all.
It's really about building a relationship with those residents, and we're hoping that, with the point and count, that first encounter between volunteers and people who are experiencing homelessness will spark some type of action.
Outreach. I think that's what's most important, because you can only help someone once you get out there in the streets and you touch them and you're able to see what their need is and see what it is that we can provide to them.
I think the way that this really helps Riverside is we're people who are of shared mindset. We want to solve a particular problem. And what I've noticed doing this pre-pandemic up until now every year is that you network and get to meet somebody for 4 or 5 hours. You're in a car together working through stressful situations. And by the end of it, you've shared contact information. You've realized what each of you could do to help one another with their issues as you go back to your normal day job. So I've really found the networking and the post relationships with the people you've done this with afterwards are really helpful.
We have some really dedicated people who this is their life's mission, to help others, and they're out there 7 days a week, whether it's in the River Bottom or in the downtown or La Sierra and Magnolia, talking to people, understanding the issues. This city has really taken it seriously, and we're working very hard to improve the situation for individuals who find themselves homeless, while at the same time trying to protect the quality of life for residents in the city who are also compassionate. So there is both sides of that we're working, and I do believe that we will make a real positive impact.